Hello, my name is Taylor Hamblin, and I'm doing a task-based language learning lesson. These are my students Wei, Kelsey, and Goose. Okay, so today's lesson, task-based language learning is basically a lesson where we're going to actually go into something that you guys use in real life. Really strongly believe in the philosophy of bringing outside material, bringing it to the classroom. That way you guys can go back outside and talk with each other in Spanish. It's really important to do that over and over and over again, and do as much as possible. So I'm going to give you the skills to do that. We're going to do one of those skills in this lesson. So, first part is, what the main lesson today is a map. We're going to do the local map of the area around our high school. Put that on the projector. Okay. So as you guys can see, the local map. You can see all all the buildings, the street names, the parks, everything around our local area. And it's really important to recognize what you guys actually care about, what you guys want to go to, or you guys go to in real life. The ones where I pointed this is so when you're outside of class, say Goose wants to ask Kelsey out to a movie, because he's had a hot streak for a long time. He can ask how do you get to the movie theater? You could ask him that, and you guys can actually say it in Spanish. You guys can actually practice your language skills in Spanish outside of the classroom. That's the entire point. That's why we're not going to be using a textbook vocabulary list. We're going to create our own, just so you guys can make something that actually matters to you. So, we are going to start with making a list. So, look at the map, and look at the areas around us. Like, what do you guys see, like businesses and whatnot, that you guys think matter?
Bank.
So what's bank?
Banca.
Banca.
B-A-N-C-O.
Alright, so you have bank. That's good. Good start. So, El Banco. What else?
Post office.
Post office. I would say post office.
Oficina de Correos.
Correos.
Thank you.
Wei, what's a building? Or what's a area in town that you go to a lot?
Soccer field.
Yep, soccer. Hey, that's it. No, that's what's. Oh, okay, I know. That's the entire point. Like you say, soccer field like it's not something important, but it is because it's something important to you. That's why we're not using vocabulary from a textbook. We're using something that's actually important to your life. That way, if you want, you could tell somebody how to get to the soccer field in Spanish. So we got soccer field. So how would we say soccer field?
Campo de fútbol.
That's right. Campo de fútbol. Alright, so let's keep on going. What else is in our local area, guys, around the high school?
Eating places.
Eating places.
Restaurant.
What's that?
I will say restaurant.
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 Restaurante?
Yeah, there you go.
Restaurante.
Restaurante.
Okay, that's a good start. So,
Cafe.
restaurante. What? And let's get into some specifics real quick. Let's do maybe 3 restaurants right now. That we can translate. Like things like McDonald's and Burger King. Like I guess Burger King might be translated, but like places like McDonald's and like Wendy's, those places actually retain their names even in Spanish. So let's think of some places that wouldn't.
Cherry Street. So.
Cherry Street. So how would you say Cherry Street? That's
Cherry.
different.
I don't know what cherry is.
Okay.
Cherry.
So we got the dictionaries.
Cherry. Cereza.
Cereza.
C-E-R-E-Z-A.
C-E-R.
Street.
How do I say street? And this is that street's actually a really important word to know.
Can't remember.
It is. Calle.
Calle? Yep. So you would actually. So how would you say Cherry Street?
Cereza calle.
Is it Calle de Cereza?
It's Calle de Cereza.
That's what it says.
Calle is first. Okay. So what's another restaurant? You got Cherry Street.
Red Steakhouse.
Red Steakhouse. How do we say Red Steakhouse?
Casa de
Steakhouse.
Bistec Rosa.
It's Casa de Bistro Rojo, I would say.
Oh yeah, Rosa's pink, right?
Yeah, Rosa's pink.
Yeah,
Rosa's
Rosa.
red.
Well, actually, Rosado is pink, Rojo is red.
Oh, what is Rosa?
And
Rosa? Well, I guess
I'll look it
I
up.
think Rosa is rose. Okay, anyway, let's keep going. Alright, what's the restaurant you go to here in town?
Okay, it's just Cafe Brune.
What was it?
The Cafe Brune.
Cafe Brune?
Yeah.
Um, that one actually wouldn't, that one's already kind of like cafe, it's actually Spanish.
Yeah.
So that's more Frenchy, you wouldn't actually translate that to anything. So what's another restaurant you maybe go to? Any place, doesn't matter. Toss one up there.
Outback Steakhouse.
Outback Steakhouse. We have an Outback Steakhouse here in Vermillion, South Dakota. So how do you say Outback Steakhouse?
Outback.
And this is kinda,
that,
I mean-
like, is that a pronoun? Outback.
I think actually we'll just call this Casa de Bistro Outback. Does that sound good?
Perfect.
Alright.
Ruby Tuesday.
Ruby Tuesdays. There's also Ruby Tuesdays here. Really?
Subway.
Subway,
Subway.
I like these trademark names being like it's fun to practice this way. It's fun like if you go to Mexico, they actually do call them Subway. It wouldn't be the actual translation for Subway.
No, but,
But
it's so popular.
It's still fun to like learn those words that way because if you're actually in Mexico and you actually need the Subway, you
Yeah.
can actually build that bridge between what you learned. Let's get off restaurants though right now. How would you say Prentice Park?
Parque de. No, Parque Prentice.
Actually, you would say Parque de Prentice because
Would
I mean
you?
it's Prentice was the person, so I mean it's his park. So
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
alright, so Parque de Prentice. What else?
That's around.
Bookstore.
Bookstore.
Which is
I say bookstore.
Librera.
Librera. Alright. What else?
I say
Library.
like fire station.
Crazy.
Alright, I got fire station, library. What'd you say where?
Crazy.
What?
Crazy.
A prison?
Yeah, jail.
There's also a well-known prison here in Vermillion, South Dakota.
It's a jailhouse.
Jail.
Is there? Okay, so yeah, fire station, prison. Heard. What do you say?
Library.
Library.
Biblioteca.
Biblioteca. And what library do we have in or like what's the closest library to us?
ID Weeks.
That's me. So we got biblioteca.
Dig.
Yeah, what's prison? How would you say prison? You're gonna give someone directions to the prison. So your friend needs a ride from the jail because last night got a little too extreme.
Prison. Or carcel. Or sarcel.
Carcel?
Or prison.
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 Oh, prison.
Prison. Okay. Good.
To be in.
And fire station. How would you say fire station?
That's what I was trying to look up.
Firearm. Fire. Firelighter.
I don't have your dictionary. Yes, roll
The
tablet.
firehouse. So Casa de Fuego.
House of Fire.
That's right. It's a firehouse, isn't it?
Firefighter is bombero.
Fire engine is Coche de
What's firefighter?
Bomberos, so
Bombero.
it'd be Casa de Bomberos.
Yep, Casa de Bombero. Okay, so
There
this
it is.
is the list that we're guys going to work on. That is the list we're going to use for today's lesson and our little group project.
The dictionary actually says that it's Parque de Bomberos. FYI.
Okay. Parque de Bomberos.
I
Okay.
would say
Find that
Parque.
Alright, well, we can move on from the vocab, guys. So again, here's our vocabulary list. We're going to be using this. It's also going to be on the test and whatnot. You're going to be emailed this list, and part of your homework assignment will also be to add to this list. But for our purposes now, this is what we're going to use. And I am going to talk about the project. So, what I basically want you guys to do, actually, sorry, before we do that, what are some other important words that we would need, say, for, like, to give directions? What would you need to know?
The lateral directions. Northeast, southwest.
That's correct. Sam, what would those be?
Norte. South.
Norte, sur. What is sur? What is este?
East must be east.
Yep. And oeste?
Really?
Oeste.
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 So it's
Oh.
like este only with the O at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So you got norte. So you got in order. You got norte, este, sur, and oeste.
Center.
Sur. S-U-R.
Okay.
That's south. So yeah, you're right. Those are actually, the cardinal directions. You need the cardinal directions for sure. And when you're on the projector, you can, use those to figure it out. Also, what else could be important to know?
Izquierdo and derecho. Left and right.
Left and right. Yep. Izquierdo and derecho. Which one's left?
Izquierdo.
Which one's right, Willie? Derecho, correct. Good work. Okay, so let's also talk about how would you say where, let's keep it simple. You don't have to overcomplicate things. If you overcomplicate things, generally you mess up like I do. So let's keep it simple just for our purposes. So where would we say, where is just where it is?
Donde es?
Close.
Donde está?
Very good. Donde está? Where is? Thank you. So where is? So you could say, for example, you make a sentence.
¿Dónde está el banco?
El banco. ¿Dónde está el banco? Good. So let's just use donde está for where is.
El banco es oeste de Nosotros High School.
That's good. Yeah, basically. And if we're gonna also say as far as giving directions, what would be the simplest way to what verb would be easiest to use? The infinitive. What infinitive verb would be easiest?
Oh. Infinitive. Oh, go.
Either. Go. So how would you give how would you tell something? No, this gets complicated. How would you just give someone a command to go somewhere? How would you say? You would say blank and then directions.
Oh. Vos que?
Not vas. Vas, you're right about, because vas means you go. That's correct. When you're giving a command, you say ba.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you're just giving a command, authoritarian or authoritative sentence, you just say ba.
Huh.
So just a little tip. So when you're actually you could say boss, that a Hispanic or a Spanish speaker would understand what you're saying. It would just sound a little bit confusing. That's all. I mean, it would sound a little strange. So you could actually say ba. You can say boss or ba, but for we'll do the correct way. We'll say ba. So we have donde está is where is, and then we have ba. So
is it always donde está? Is it ever donde es?
donde es? No, because when you're giving directions, you're not permanently giving directions. You're only temporarily giving directions.
So when you give directions, is it el banco es or está?
Okay, when you give directions, you're when you're actually asking.
It's solid.
Yeah, I don't know. When you're actually giving directions, you're saying the bank is here. It's always here. It never moves.
Makes
When you're asking, there's more uncertainty. There's not, definitive wordplay in that. But we're not going to worry about. You don't have to worry about that now. It's in a later lesson. I don't want to confuse you guys. It's just donde está and ba. That's all you guys need to know. You get the norte este, sur and oeste. Get that down. And the street names. Street names, for our purposes right now, don't worry about conjugate or don't worry about translating them. So if you have Cherry Street, just call it Cherry Street for now. It's okay. Don't worry about it. So basically, we want you guys now to get, I was gonna do 2 groups of 2, but we only have 3 here, so we'll do a group of just us, and we'll just make a sentence. We're just gonna do sentences for each other. We're gonna write down what, how to go. All right, we're gonna ask how to get somewhere. You're gonna say where it is, and then what are you gonna say the actual thing. You're gonna write it down, and you're gonna kind of reenact it. You're gonna give a little small presentation. Okay. He wants you to do a few sentences, so it's gonna be really simple. You guys have already done it a couple times right just now, so all I'm asking you is you basically kind of do it by yourself. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll help you guys out. But we'll have each of you ask directions and give directions twice. Is that okay? We'll help you out. Don't worry. Okay. So, the vocabulary is going to be put on the presentation board. So I'm going to erase this vocabulary list. And if you really need to, you have your dictionary, so it's not a big deal.
How do you say like southwest?
Southwest.
If you put them together, do you know?
Yeah, so do I say.
Oh, okay. Just
Same thing. I mean, how do we say south? I mean, we say south and say west.
norte,
Same thing.
este, that kind of thing.
Yep. So if you wanted to say, yeah, northeast, norte, este. Same thing.
We have to write them down. Can I just say them?
Oh yeah, because I want to see you guys actually. Because I mean, a big important thing is to visualize it, like see it on the board, write it down, and also pronounce it. We want you to be able to read it, write it, listen to it, talk it. The big four, guys. Okay, so gonna have you guys use this. Wait, you just want to scoot in a little more.
Alright.
Again, please ask questions if you need to. I'm gonna check.
We should write the full conversation down.
Yeah, just again, like I would like each of you to ask and give a command twice, or ask to give directions and then give them.
God.
So I mean, it's not that bad. And if you guys need a map, there it is.
Is this right? Because it's not solid, right?
What do you use that solid?
I mean, because this one was S dogs and this one's S.
Yes.
Is that weird? Let's see, it never eats not
Sur.
Suroeste.
Suroeste.
Suroeste. De. What is high school? Oh, Nos Escuela.
Yeah. That is nose. What's nose?
Like hours.
Hour. It's like hour. But if you were I mean, again, this is kind of get more advanced. If you were gonna say hour, you'd actually just use nosotros.
Okay.
Nos is like we.
You wanna write the next one?
Okay.
And when you can use the same sentences to ask and give each other, I just want to hear you guys actually speak them. That's the entire point.
Marker.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't working pretty well, but
And
it
then
died.
urgent.
What was the word for street?
Street calle.
Calle?
Calle.
Is there a different word for road? Curious, George.
That's actually was my biggest problem in Spanish class. I just get so curious. Like I feel like half the class just like flipping through the Spanish
Right.
dictionary looking for things. I mean, really, it is interesting to figure out the words and.
You're right. There is a word for roadhouse.
Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Like say like that, or like a diner or a truck or something.
They mean it like a bar.
Roadhouse?
Well, it says
A roadhouse. I
bar de
think of like a diner.
carretera. Carretera.
The right one?
Alright.
Alright, so how would you say, how would you ask for directions again? Donde está, right? Also right, donde está? Just, yeah, donde está?
Use the
There you go. Alright. So that means you know where is and where do you want to know, like where do you want to know how to get to where? Like just pick anything.
Jail.
Jail. You want to know how to get to the jail, so
Here it is first.
oh, let's do soccer field.
Okay.
So soccer field. How do we say soccer field again, guys?
El campo. E-L.
El campo.
Campo. Like campo.
You got it. Yeah, keep going. Yep.
De football.
So yeah, markers begin for middle. Alright, so that sentence right there says where is the soccer field? Alright, so let's do it that way. Alright, cool. Alright, so these guys, alright, these look alright. Got my marker again, lifted this time. Alright, so, thank you. Let's start off with the first sentence we have here. You can pick anybody you guys want, just pick a pair right now and just ask the question. So, Goose, you goes first.
Am I supposed to look at it or no?
You probably know it, right?
¿Dónde está el prisión?
El prisión es suroeste de nuestra escuela.
Okay, so you were saying, so this says, see, the prison is southwest of our school. Alright, so that's good. Yep, so I mean, see how simple this is? I mean, it really isn't that bad. So, we'll go to the next one.
Wait.
Huh?
Yes, wait.
Ask away? Alright.
Okay. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
So you're asking,
Where's the library?
where is the library? Way, street that? Biblioteca
Teca. Biblioteca.
es norte.
Estote de las
Escuela. Good work.
escuelas.
So, la biblioteca es norte de nuestra escuela. The library is northeast of our school. So, I mean, again, like these sentences, we're using the school as the foundation as the center point, because we all know where the school is. So it's really easy to say, well, you know, el prisión es izquierda de calle Taylor Street y noroeste de, I don't know, el campo de football. So just use these, you don't have to, it doesn't have to get too complicated. You can just say, you know, it's north of norte de the school, and then east of something else. So este de whatever you want. So just ask. So Wei, just ask the question you wrote down.
¿Dónde está el
Cambio.
cambio de fútbol?
Correct. All right. So donde está el cambio? And let's use that va. Someone use va.
Oh. Va.
Let's use it like go va. So like actually, if you're like giving a street name, like you actually had to go down something.
What's down? Go. Should I say go down? Down the dentro there.
No, don't. Let's not use down or up. Let's just use. Let's use our
okay,
directions.
okay.
Let's use norte, este,
Oh,
southern,
va.
oeste, because those are universal.
Oeste and Cherry Street. What was that word?
No, it's just Cherry Street's fine because that's an
and
actual
Cherry
street. Yep.
Street. Y el campo de fútbol es izquierda.
No, that's right. And like, you had that right, and I know right there what you did was you try to say up or down, because in English it's what we do. We would say we go up Cherry Street to get to the football field. But we're going to try to simplify it, because in Spanish you don't have to get that complicated. We're not at that, you're not at that level yet. So all you have to say is norte, go north, because everyone should know where north is. And you just look at the sun and figure that one out. So just don't worry about up or down. Even left or right are kind of what you don't really need to worry about those too much, but you still can. Like you can say, if you're on Cherry Street, you can say, like, take a left. So say, toca un izquierda.
Makes sense.
Okay. So we're just gonna go. Do you guys have any questions about any of this? Like how to make it simpler? You feel a little more confident now? You can maybe ask each other for directions outside of school. Actually lead each other. See. Don't fall asleep now, guys. Alright. Is there any vocabulary we could have added to the list that maybe would have made it more helpful, you guys think?
Miles.
Miles, okay. How do you say miles?
Kilometers.
Yeah, and actually in Spanish you really would never use miles.
Is that right?
If you guys are going to go outside of the country, you might as well get used to the fact that we're pretty much the only country that decides not to go metric. Because we're Americans, we're better than everyone else, right? Americans, not Americans. It's Spanish for Americans. Americans. That's not true. Never say that.
Yes.
It's Americano.
It's mile.
Okay. Well, you can use miles since we're familiar there. You can use kilometros. So I'll write that on the board. Is there anything any other vocabulary that you guys think could help you like express, where to go? You already did one or a couple.
Oh, like circa day, around, right?
Yeah, around,
Here.
up, down, kind of in the area. I mean, these are all things.
Yeah.
And like, I actually encourage you guys when you're adding words to the vocabulary list tonight on the Wikispace page, I would say put in down, find them for yourselves and put them on a vocabulary list. And once we get to 30 words, we'll stop, and that'll be the vocabulary list for this unit, and that'll be what we get tested on.
Cool.
So you guys can add them yourself. And I'll make sure like only add one or two yourselves, because I don't want everyone, I don't want one person to put their 20 things.
Makes sense.
What else? Is there any other like really quick vocabulary words that we could have thought of?
Besides other buildings.
What about verbs? Any verbs?
Like, could you say to take, like take, to take a left or to
Yep,
take a
to
right?
take. That would have been a good one. So to take. Let's write that one down.
That's no car.
Tocar. Yep. To take. Any others?
Drive, to drive. What's the word for that? Manihar.
Yep. Manihar. So we'll write that one down. Okay. So we have to take, manihar. Again, add this to the vocabulary list. Anything else you can think of, just go ahead and do that. And I know we're kind of doing it now, but I just wanted you guys to get in the habit of it.
Ooh, return would be a good one.
Return.
Raid volver.
Okay.
That's it. So what is volver? Is that to arrive?
No, arrive is a god. Like a god.
Okay.
Yeah, it's to arrive. Which I'll tell you the joke in a second. Did you guys feel awkward at all when talking in Spanish and giving directions?
No.
No, you lie. Okay, well, say if you did feel awkward, because I know I really felt awkward my first time speaking Spanish. Why do you guys think so? Like, why would you feel awkward giving Spanish or directions in Spanish?
Because people make fun of me for my accent.
You're Minnesotan accent.
Because it's new. It's a new language.
It is a new language. Like the point of it is like to constantly repeat it, and that's why the lessons I'm going to be teaching you guys are all lessons that I feel you can take out and do it yourself. I'm not really a big firm practitioner of giving you a verb list to have you drill in your bedroom by yourself for an hour or two. I really believe in collaborating with each other, hanging out with each other, having fun, speaking Spanish, because anyone will tell you the quickest way to learn a second language is to talk with friends. Learn the slang. Go to a soccer field and learn the terms of that. Go with something that you have a passion for. Like I'll tell you right now, mine was paintball. I learned a lot of paintball lingo. Also, I worked at a Subway. I learned how to take orders in Spanish because that's what I did every day. That's what I had to hear every day. So I got that down, which was easy, and then I built upon it. Like every day I would learn something a little bit new because someone will teach me. And that's what I want you guys to learn. So if you actually give someone, if you guys give someone directions in Spanish, maybe they'll teach you something that you can, learn on top of it. Maybe they'll teach you how to say Spanish a little more relaxed, a little more less, more casual. Okay. So again, we're going to do homework. Everyone add 1 or 2 vocabulary words to the Wikispace tonight or tomorrow. I want everyone to write 10 sentences. 5 of them are going to be asking how to get to a certain place, and the following sentence, the next 5 would be answering how. I want you guys to use the map. I want you guys to use the locations that we currently have, so we only used only 3 of them, so there's still a bunch left.
Nice.
I want these to be at least like a sentence long. No, don't say don't say the school's on the left. I want you to kind of go into a little more detail. There's examples online, so you can use those. Does anyone have any questions? No? No? Weizing's got a master. Alright, well, Weizing's good.
I think Spanish homework is more fun than other homework.
Alright. Good.
We have the best teacher.
That's Goose, Kelsey, Way, and I'm Taylor. Yeah.